Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. My moon pendant saved a telescope and running shoes. I also started with the key card, thanks to stopping in the break room. I had one idea since the last time. I drafted the shelter already, by the way. I had one idea since the last time, which was, and now I actually like the parlors again, to use the burning glass. Maybe I can like flamethrower the stuff that's inside the freezer in order to unfreeze it. You were in the parlor, yes. This box is empty, don't know. The blue box is true. This one is also true, since that one is true, which means this one is false, which means the box is empty is not true, which means the box has gems in it. So let's take the gems. Da-da-da! Alright, nice start. I have a list of other things that I know I can do. One is to try to dig up ground in rank 2C1. One is to draft another full chessboard so I can switch to the power of the knight, which would give me the armory in the draft pool, which I have no idea what that is, but it's something different, and different is good. One is to try to get the 8th door of the mechanarium open by having a bunch of gear rooms, things like security and such. Let's see, the breaker box. It's not an awful place for it. It's not a super great place for it either. I think I'll go ahead and take the breaker box, though. And now the question is, we'll turn off the gym. And the dark room, I think we have to like trip the lights with the dark room actually already existing first. The garage I'll turn on. And the keycard system, I have keycards, so I want to leave it on. Right, so this is not as valuable as it used to be if I'm always going to be ending in the break room and always having keycards. But that's fine. Other things on my list. Get the magnifying glass to look at the stamps on the envelope. Draft the clock tower, which we just unlocked last time. And finally, the closed exhibit is, I guess, the only, if I go to my, red rooms. I know all the rooms here show up already. I guess it's a shop I'm still missing. I wonder what shop I'm missing. And in any case, closed exhibit was a red room. But I imagine it appears after you have, like, keycard doors on 3 sides. So let's see. From here, observatory, we like the observatory. It gives us bonuses. It'll actually be good bonuses today. So yeah, I'll take the inkwell, and the slice is extra steps, and then I can view it again and get more extra steps with my telescope. Telescope. View it again. More extra steps. There we go. And then I can go into the foundation. I'd be leaving the rooms by the entrance hall. Let's go ahead and clear out the entrance hall first. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. We'll spend our steps that we just got clearing things out over here. Lab, I love the lab. And it's early in the day, which is the best time to set up a great experiment to give you some long-term stuff going on. Let's see if we get a good one. Each time you eat an apple is good. Next 3 times you open a locked trunk. Add a small chest. It says open. Does the sledgehammer count for that too? I imagine it would. Like both of those are good. I'll do the apples. And hope to find a bunch of apples. Okay, so that could be a good experiment. We'll see. Speaking of apples, is there any chance that there's one sitting on the desk like there was last time? No, there's not. This red looked kind of like a coin purse, but it's just part of the slab equipment. And this thing, heating and cooling, complete thaw, room temperature. There might be more words here that I would need the magnifying glass to read. I just noticed this. Yeah, tested in the Mount Holly freezer. Maybe, okay. So burning glass is something to try, and reading this with the magnifying glass is something else to try. Okay, I really need to get a magnifying glass. In that case, what I should do is request one at the commissary. So if I log into the network, I rarely do this. Swan Song. And then I believe it's staff services, special orders, place a special order. I would like a magnifying glass. Approve. Okay, so that makes it more likely that we're going to see a magnifying glass in the near future. So that is good. With that, I guess I am back to drafting, and I'll bring you back when something interesting happens. Oh, I'd flipped the breaker in the utility box before coming into the dark room, and that did work. So I guess I just need to remember that. So if you've already done the breaker box, you can do it in front of the dark room, and it works out just fine. I thought I tested that maybe a different way before, but I might be misremembering. Wander currency, I'm just happy to take the bedroom for now. We'll walk in just in case there is a gem for me. Very nice. And I get the step back by walking in as well. And I'm just setting up. I've got the boudoir already, so I've got a bunch of chests in the entrance hall. And I've got a couple of bedrooms, which should help us get some keys once we find the spare servants' quarters. And there it is. Great. So then I can use these keys to open up the things in the entrance hall, and that's probably worth it. I guess let's go ahead and draft one more room, just in case it's something that's likely, yeah, like a workshop could have a sledgehammer, and a servants' quarters dead end could also have just a bunch of keys. Both of these are good. I guess I'll take the workshop for now, since we're not really in a spot that I want the dead end, and see if we get lucky with the sledgehammer, and we did! Hooray! Okay, neat. In that case, I'm gonna go back to the entrance hall and see what else we get. Smash! 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 These things are so fun to smash. I got money. I got gems. And I got keys. All nice things. Hooray. There's something new with billiards. There's an X above 20 and 20 and 13, so I'm guessing the 20s you ignore. So I just want to say 13. That seems to be right. So then 1, ignore, 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 ignore is 1. Okay, and then a third of 3 is one. Hold on. First, it's ignore -3 plus a third of 3 gets us to -2. Squared is 4. All right. So ignore any instructions on things with red X's on them. Sure. Out of the conference room, this is the best look I've had at whatever this statue is. I might have had this look once before, but I never got a screenshot. I can't tell. Like, it's not an angel statue. But are they holding something in their hand? I don't know. I guess I'll be able to zoom and blow it up in post. Actually, I decided to go zoom it right now, and it looks kind of like a clergyman who has like a book in his right hand and one of those like incense things that hangs down in his left hand, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm in the drawing room again. I'm just looking at the shadows. These shadows are being cast this way, I guess from this lamp. These shadows looks like are almost being cast from like over here, where there isn't a lamp, or somewhere on the ceiling, but these things don't appear to be on. And then there's this lamp over here, and it's not providing any light that's casting shadows for those guys. Like, it's casting light to cast this shadow, it seems like. Yeah, like, now that I know there's puzzles in here, like, I mean, we can do this. And sure, it reveals that. But what else can we do? Is there something funny with the lamp or the telephone? I don't think so. All seems pretty standard kind of stuff. The little... I haven't looked at the other phones. There are other phones in the world, I think. The little notch where you would clickety-click it seems to be in the wrong spot. I hadn't really thought about that before. So that could be a number. And it's been so long since I've used a rotary phone, but it's on like the 4th number, right? So that could indicate like 4 might be the month, and I had like 19 or 18 or something as like the number of steps, like just to try something. How about 0418? That didn't work. How about 0421? Because I kept getting different counts. But 6, 7, and 9 are not part of the dates on any of these, allegedly. Okay. And yeah, I'm just kind of like grasping at straws really for that, but every time I walk through here now, my eyes are really tuned to trying to see new things, and I am seeing new things, but they're not helpful new things yet. And I don't really want any of the new floor plans, but I feel like they might be hiding good things for me, so there's only 2 left. And actually, I know in the dormitory it has Architectural Drafting Strategy Volume 1, because Randolph sent us a letter in the mailroom that mentioned that. Solarium would give you a chance to draw rare things, and is green. I guess I'll take this one. Each time you enter a dormitory after drafting that, gain 10 steps. Sure. We'll go ahead and add this in, and eventually I'll add the solarium in as well. Great, I guess. Now it's going to end my run over here, but there is something I want a screenshot of in the bunk beds, which is there's a Rubik's Cube. And I don't have a screenshot of that Rubik's Cube, and it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, actually, I think I can only see like 2 faces of it anyway, unless this goes through. It does not. So I have a feeling that this is not actually related to a puzzle, but just in case it is, this is probably the best angle. Hey, 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 look what I found. It's a magnifying glass. Okay, I have documents I want to inspect. By the way, this was super easy, and the gems are going to be in here. Okay, so drafting the mailroom again could be good. I only have a few rooms left that I can draft. But I want to go back to the entrance hall and look at that with a magnifying glass. I need to go back to the lab and look at that with a magnifying glass, and I'd like to find the mailroom. And I think those are the main things. And I do get 4 rerolls here. Is there anything to look at in the office with the magnifying glass? Oh, dormitory. Sure, let's just get it done, and this will be another room explored. Also, there's a key here. So we'll read the book in a moment. Let's check out the room itself. So we got like a backpack, got a thermos and a little radio. We've got a weird looking chair. We've got a black pawn. And I was thinking, I haven't found the Black King yet, and I imagine it might be in the clock tower. Koriaka University, if you didn't know that orange was the heart already. For Koriaka, which is like the, it's a big eastern continent or whatever. There's more clues about that. And we got one of these clocks that says Sinkaco on it. Alright. Not too out of the ordinary there. We've got this. Yeah, Koriaka. Let me see if I can spin the globe too. It's kind of a different orientation of the continents or something. Is this globe like flipped upside down, or am I imagining things? That's kind of weird. I mean, it's possible that I don't know the land as well as I thought. In any case, I think this big one is Koriaka, but something seems weird. We got some ping pong paddles. We got a bowling pin. We've got a paddle for like a rowboat, I guess. And yeah, given that it's an optional room, I have a feeling like this is the big score. So, drafting strategy, volume 2. Oh, volume 2, not volume 1. All right. Features, misspelled. Futures. I wonder if that's a intentional typo. I'm guessing no. And so, just in case, it's a puzzle game after all. Futures. Okay, but let's just, read the book. And I'm not going to read it all. I'll read it and then summarize. Okay, it's going to talk about room subtypes. So, the ones with the drafting compass. Alright, and it talks about some of these, including the classroom, but it's stuff that we've already discovered. Shifting gears. Ducks, ducks, ducks. It's a duck. Three-way room, split ducks 3 ways. Boiler room. Is a power source. There might be a duck. Oh, drafting a door that is steam-powered will increase the likelihood of drawing rooms with ducks. So if I turn on the boiler room, I will be more likely to get something that actually connects through the ceiling. And so that's why in the previous episode, when I drafted the boiler room, I got the locker room right after that, and it was all lit up. Okay, so do turn on the boiler if you're trying to get power somewhere. So moving on. Entering a furnace or a sauna after drafting the freezer will thaw frozen gems or gold you're carrying. You'll have to refreeze your assets by re-entering the freezer. Okay, so it is possible to refreeze if the freezer is still cold. If a furnace is drafted within a few ranks... Within a few ranks? Oh, is it rank and not adjacency? I had the furnace north or south of the freezer in the previous episode. Maybe it has to be in the same rank. Temperature will start rising and everything will melt. Temperature gets too high, refreezing will no longer be possible. Maybe I need the furnace in the same rank as the freezer. Okay, so that's another possibility. So there's the burning glass, there's furnace in the same rank. Alright, added that to my notes. Perplexing plans, it's the puzzles. And the spread rooms, which we already know about pretty well. And finally, a word from the editor. Grand Architect Louisa T. Rayland. I wonder if that's a important name. Never heard it before. It's got a lot of letters, so it could anagram. And it could also be that Louisa T. Rayland. If I try to pronounce it out loud. Louisa T. Rayland. Louisa Trayland. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I feel like it might be some kind of clever wordplay, something. Alright, but that is the end of this book, so that's what we get from the dormitory. So now, back in the lab, I wanted to use my magnifying glass over here. Complete thaw. Cooler is unaffected. Okay, well, something I just discovered. I could have known already. Cooler's unaffected, so how do we deal with the cooler? Jackhammer could break through the ice, possibly, or something else. But in any case, now I've seen that. There'll be some trunks in the entrance hall, and I need to magnify something over there as well. I guess I will crack open the trunks first. Oh, I've never had this many trunks. They start ending up smash on the little seats over here. Oh, dice, just what I need after I've drafted all my rooms. Thanks. Thanks, game. Okay, so if I take out the magnifying glass, nuance, and it's got a dirigible, an airship, and in the safe house, the plans to steal the ruby jewels or whatever had a something about like escape by air to nuance or something was already a thing, so I already had in my notes that nuance might be airships, but I guess this is a different letter. The original letter here that was about the will as opposed to the inheritance, like, had a different stamp on it, so I wonder if I'll be able to get that stamp somewhere else. But yeah, I guess this is where I'm going to get some of the clues about the information that I still don't have to complete all the sigils, because you need to know, like, the mode of transport that each country has in order to draw its sigil in the inner sanctum. Okay, are there other things I could be using my magnifying glass on before we call it a day? Yes, I have the kennel, and I wanted to check out something over there. And I don't need it today, but I'm going to eat my fish anyway. Num 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 num. Just because it's fun to eat in video games. I declare it so. So in the kennel, there's this picture of a cat, and I don't know that I ever had the magnifying glass to look at this. Do I see anything in here? Alzara said a black cat was tied to a red flag, which I presume was like a metaphor for Mary and like the country of Fen and the government. I don't see anything noteworthy in this drawing, sadly. While we're here and I have the magnifying glass, I probably did look at Swimbird at some point in the past underneath the magnifying glass, but I might as well take another look. But I don't see anything unusual here. Alright, so once again, I will call it a day in the break room. I've got a treasure map, but it doesn't matter because I don't have a shovel. A perplexing hotel. New rooms. 1, the dormitory. Hey, I have the magnifying glass and the mailroom is available, so I'm just going to take it immediately, not worrying about the shape of the world. So I've placed an order. So, I want to read this for sure. So, please return all correspondence packages to Denny Ruvain, no longer with the staff. What does this say? Did they ever prove he was the one that stole the Baron's mail? Well, I don't know about prove, but there's a lot of secondary evidence that's suggested at this point. Okay, so that, if you found that early, it would give you just kind of like early plot leads, it sounds like, but I don't think that that's mechanically important. Over here, let's take a look at the stamp over here. Grand Realm of Fen Ares. In fog we are lost, in fire we are found. So it is a foggy realm. It's got the red flag, so that's the color. It's got the pentagon on it. So yeah, it's a bunch of information about the realm. How about... I didn't mean to pull this up. Can I look at any of the envelopes, like on this? Can I see this stamp? Yeah, I think I can. Archeries. Together, we weather. And so that looks super stormy. And I think I already have in my notes that Archeries is stormy. There's something in the bottom, too. In commemoration of the opening of the 5th Zone power plant... The Compessa, I can't read what's under the 5 there. There's a couple more words, but I can't read them. Okay, but I do have lots of stamps. Okay, I can't see the stamp there. This stamp I should be able to see. Vera Shores and the turtles. Yeah, okay, so we knew about the turtle travel, just because we had kind of like guessed that one in the Inner Sanctum, based on the thingy-ma-do that we saw in the Lost and Found, the broken plate or whatever. Morajai, this is another one of the eastern countries, and they appear to be seafaring, I guess, because there's a big boat on it. And it shows the half-moon circled, that's like their country core emblem or whatever. And it does say some words on the bottom. White something, I couldn't quite read it. I already know that the color is white for those guys. This one I can't see the stamp. This one I can't see the stamp. This one, here's a stamp. Iraja, the future, Arii. And Iraja, by the way, is like the final era, or the current era, and there's their core, the little hourglass shape. It's purplish. Eta Aries Yenna. Yenna, I think, is one of the names of one of the people on the bust. What does that say about that? The Eastern Bride? Eta Aries Yenna. Oh, Eta is Eastern. Aries Yenna. I wonder if Yenna's a bride? Let me look at my notes for where else I thought I had someone who might have been Yenna. In the foyer, J.R.E. Yenna was the woman wearing a crown and a pendant and had like a popped-up collar, kind of like an evil witch or something. So I wonder if Yenna is like a bride or something. In any case, that's interesting. So let's see, I lost track of which males I was looking at. That's the one I just looked at, so how about this one? There's the dirigible airship that we already saw in the entry hall, I believe. Nuance. Yeah. Alright. Over here, there's no stamp available. Over here, this is another look at Morajai. The White Sea of Yore, maybe, is what it says. I can't quite tell. Over here, I can't see the stamp. Over here, here's a new stamp. Excitement and Adventure. Orinda. Aries. Holding the scepter. Has the crown. Yeah, and the angel wings. So this is, and the octagon mirror-shaped thing or whatever. Okay, so that's all information, once again, that I already know. But cool to see it there. Over here, we don't get any more stamps. Over here, this is just Fen Aries again, right? Yeah, Grand Realm of Fen Aries. In fog we are lost, in fire we are found. And finally, this one, I also can't see the stamp because it's off the top of the screen. Okay, so we got some good magnification going. I think I only saw stamps of like 5 of the 7 countries there or something. So I wonder if there's other documents, like perhaps the one in the freezer. Yeah, I'm thinking burning glass to melt it out, or jackhammer to like break it out, are now my best guesses in terms of getting stuff out of the cooler. I hadn't really appreciated the dormitory's ability. Each time you enter the dormitory after drafting one of those rooms, gain 10 steps. So I've already drafted one of those rooms, right? Actually, now that I'm looking, no, I haven't gained any. Okay, so if I walk in here, I get 5 steps for the sleeping mask, but that's it. I did already mark down the pawn. So it seems like that's possibly a way to like farm steps effectively. If you draft the right rooms, something. I guess right now I've got some keys, so I guess we'll do another parlor game. For each bedroom you draft after your second game, plus 1 star. That sounds pretty good to me. Well, the boudoir is a bedroom, so this should give me another star. Yes, up to 54 stars. Very nice. Successful experiment. And going into the observatory will also give me another star. And also a chance to do some things and stuff. Rooms with 4 doors are more common today. Oh, interesting. I'm back in the drawing room, and this time we have windows that are casting different shadows. And so that's kind of overriding the light, but it's still the case that these... did these have the shadow coming this way before from that lamp? I don't remember. You have to check the footage. And these... oh, there's still the shadows here too, yeah. These definitely still have shadows coming from this way. So, is it like the light like coming from this doorway casting these shadows? Like, I don't think these are on. Something is still weird with the shadows in here, but I really haven't looked at shadows much anywhere else, so maybe they're weird everywhere and I haven't noticed. I don't know. One of these days I'm going to figure this room out, but today is not that day. Hey, the clock tower! I did a bunch of redraws, and I got it. So, remind me what it says about the clock tower. Maintenance has been unable to mend the perpetually halted clock face, a testament to the unchanging winds of the sacred hour. I haven't really looked at the clock on the outside of the mansion very much, so that might be an actually important thing to do at some point. I like the pretty holly leaves on the top of this chair. I don't know that I looked at it before. I probably did like 100 episodes ago. Clock tower. So, it's swinging around like a clock. It's got arrows like a clock. Ooh, this might be somewhere that the safe house told me to use my sledgehammer on one of the walls or something. It kind of looks like that. Not exactly though, but still kind of. Alright, so we climb up to the top of the clock tower. Sure. And we got gears and whatnots. So from this side... Oh, they're all... This one says 11:30. This one says 1:30. This one says 11:30, and this one says 11:30. So this one, the 1:30 one, must be the stuck one, I guess. The black rook is up here, by the way. Let me add that to my notes. Alright, the notes have been updated. So we got a bunch of gears. We have a nice ladder that we can't interact with. There's a gem over here for me. Thank you. And then... apparently there's a sanctum key here, I thought I heard. I have to review my notes, but in any case... these motes, I don't remember what they mean, and I don't have a magnifying glass to look at this better. It looks like alternating horizontal and vertical dashes, though. That does correspond to a color, so that will enable me to match a color with this particular mote, which will tell me about the society. And then there is a swan, but it's not like a paper swan. It's like a porcelain swan or something. Southward I see a swan, ashen like sands of the shore, carried by westwardly winds, rogue like the moon of the north. Eastward I see a crow, dark are the days coming forth. Okay, so obviously we have some information here. Since I have the magnifying glass on me, I just want to check out that there's nothing else special going on there. Southward I see a swan. I'm not sure what that means. Ashen like sands of the shore. Carried by a westwardly winds. And are westwardly winds, are they going to the west or are they coming from the west? I don't actually know. Rogue like the moon of the north. So yeah, there's the two moons in this planet. There's the rogue moon and the true moon. I thought the rogue moon was the south moon, though. I'll check my notes on that. Eastward, I see a crow. Have I seen a crow anywhere? Dark are the days coming forth. And, oh, S-A-C-R-E-D, sacred, are the first letters of each of these verses. Sacred. And what do I know about the clock tower? So yeah, according to my notes, the third sanctum key is here somewhere. I'm trying to see if I could, like, interact with and, like, smash the swan, but that doesn't seem to be a thing. There's all kinds of gears that I could impale myself on here. I don't see anything that's interactable, at least with the tools that I have available, which are this inventory right now. Sledgehammer and magnifying glass are the only two particularly interesting ones. And can't really walk around the table or get over there. So the sacred hour. Sacred. And then it talks about west and east. Can I see anything? I can't... No, I can see out the window. Okay, so we're looking out the window of the clock tower. To the west and to the east and to the south and to the north, presumably. And I guess we see the house that we have made. And there's Mount Holly in the distance. That way. And so, okay, so it's telling me that 1:30 is the sacred hour? 1:30 is the sacred hour, and what does that mean? 1:30 could also be a date that I could try on, like, a code to unlock a safe. And if there was a sanctum key, how could it be hiding somewhere? So there was a picture in the safe house that looked like steps coming down between some pillars, and there was like a wall that looked like maybe it could be broken, although possibly like you'd need the root cellar because it also kind of looked like roots were growing up through it. While I have the sledgehammer in my inventory, I just want to like face the wall the entire time as I'm going down to see if I get any interaction prompts, but I don't. And yeah, I guess that kind of looks like 1:30 from the inside of the clock when you're looking at it or something. Can I look downwards from the top and see that? Oh gosh. I saw this thing swinging and I thought it was coming at me. I just about jumped out of my chair there. Also, I'm probably just seeing things like the splotches on the walls. It almost looks like the head of a horse, like charging to the left over here. I should walk around and make sure I don't get any interaction prompts on this wall too. Yeah, I don't see anything on the wall, I don't think. The swingy thing doesn't appear to have anything worth seeing on the top or the bottom. And I don't have the opportunity to kind of like look down at the floor. I guess I could do it from here. And I mean, it just looks exactly like you'd expect it to. So if I were a sanctum key hiding in here somewhere, I think maybe I'd need the jackhammer on the floor. And the sacred hour appears to be 1:30 for some reason, and it's stuck in the sacred hour. Is that what it said? Let's read this again. Maintenance has been unable to mend the perpetually halted clock face. The unchanging winds of the sacred hour. Sacred. And yet it even shows 1:30 in the drafting plans of this. So something probably happens at 1:30 that we'll need to do. Sacred hour. But I can't come up with anything that I would need in the sacred hour. Maybe if I am standing here at the sacred hour, something would happen. That seems at least plausible to me. We'll see if we can make that happen. Is this my last draftable place? I also wouldn't mind getting like the coat change room to get my jackhammer, sorry. And I do have one more draftable room way back down in the south near security. Rumpus room would at least get me through. So I guess I'll take that for now. And I'll take the monies that always come free in this room. But we don't have any more Alzara thingies, at least for the moment. There's our Black Bishop. Cloister of Draxus is not super great here. Mechanarium, how many... No, that wouldn't work out well for me. I think I'll take the Great Hall, even though we're going to have a locked door on the other side. Just hope that this last key gets me something good. And over here... Well, Archives and Passageway. I mean, I'd prefer the Passageway. And I might as well spend the gems. I guess I'm just trying to get lucky with the coat closet at this point. There's a security door here, so I don't have to spend any gems. So I'll take this one first. Kennel would go straight on through and be farther south, which could work in my favor. And so less likely to be locked, but it was in fact locked. And don't have a shovel. Hi, doggies. So I guess we'll see if either of these aren't locked. That one's locked. And that one's locked. Alright, so I actually ran out of keys in a run. Guess I'll draft the one room by security just in case I get the jackhammer, and if I do get the jackhammer, I'll try going through the floor here, but it's probably, like, time has not been a thing yet. When is 1:30? What time is it now? It is currently... Oh! It's currently pretty close to 1:30. 30 minutes divided by 8 is like 4 minutes. I can go through security and draft that room. Well, can I? Yeah, I think I might not have an opportunity like this again. And so, as we get closer to 1:30, I'm going to go back to the clock tower, and we're going to see if anything happens. I'm worried that it's actually 2:15 or 2:30. Is there a better clock nearby? The dining room. Are there clocks in the dining room? Probably. Is this the only clock in this room? Let's check the dining room. Clocks, clocks, clocks. You know, there's clocks, like, everywhere in this crazy house. And now that I'm looking for one, I can't find one. We still have time. Where else might there be a clock nearby? There might have been one in the rumpus room. Yeah, I guess let me go look back at the rumpus room. Alright, if I were a clock, where would I be? I would be... nowhere. All the clocks are elsewhere. Rats, rats, rats. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm 11 hours too late. Or sorry, 1 hour too late, and I would have to wait another 11 hours for it to be the right time. But just in case I am misreading this analog clock. Alright, by my estimation, it should be less than a minute until it reaches 30. So let's run in here, and then just wait, and see what happens. My guess is nothing, because I'm an hour late. Oh! I just had a cutscene. Okay, I got here at the right time. The sacred hour of 1:30. I'm standing in the clock tower. It breaks into a cutscene. Is it going to open a stairway down? It's going to open a secret door behind. Okay, and this is where I'm going to get my sanctum key. That was very fortunate timing. Oh no, it's another stairway. This I did not expect. Secret outer stairway. Oh my goodness. The sacred hour. All the clocks read the same time. They're all stopped. Each of these clocks should be set to a different time. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. Red, set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. This clock's neighbor should both be set to a time containing a 7. This clock should not be set on the hour, except it should. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. That will help a lot. The clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in the reverse order. And this is actually true. The clocks are positioned so that their times will go up in ascending order. Oh, that's super useful constraint. And then I see minute hand, hold to adjust, hour hand, hold to adjust. So I need to adjust all these clocks in order to solve this constraint puzzle. It's time for me to get out a pen. Okay, so I've written some notes. This clock should be set on the hour, ending in 00. So when I try to adjust... oh, I have to press M? Oh, wow, you can adjust every single minute. So this one is supposed to be on the hour. All right. And then this one next to it said should be set to a time containing a 7. So the hour's got to be 7 up here. So there is 7 o'clock. So this one has to be 7 o'clock. Now this one has to have a 7 in it, but the times are going in ascending order. So it'd have to be some previous hour that ends in like 37 or 27 or something. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. This one's going to end on something 7 though, right? Because of this being true. So let me go ahead and just move the minute hand to something 7 to help remind me. Each one to a different time. 5 end in an hour. What else do I have? None contain 1, 2, 3, or 4. So in terms of minutes, it would have to be 57 then, right? Because it couldn't be... Well, it could be 07. It would have to be 07 or 57 on this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust him to 57 for the moment. And then something's going to have to read another clock here backwards. So for example, if this one were, you know, like, if none of them are 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay, that's interesting as well. Because this one is known to be 7 o'clock. And so if they're in ascending order, these would have to start with 6s or 5s, I imagine. And so this one's going to turn out to be like 5:57, for example. And then this one would be 7:55, going the other way. That seems plausible. It's a hypothesis, but let's go ahead and do that. So if I change this to 5:57, and then make this one, this is the right one, right? Yeah, 7:55. Oops. Alright. That's a plausible thing anyway. Times go up in ascending order, yeah. 5 of them have to end in 0, 0. And so obviously these two won't... How many clocks are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 clocks. So 2 of them already don't end in 0, 0. So just about all of the other ones will. All the times are different is not useful. Yeah, because it already said ascending order. And we trust this one because it's written by hand. Okay. I don't think we have enough information. Let me read some of these again. 5 should be set ending on the hour. Set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. Oh, it needs to be all same numbers, possibly? I have it as 5:57. It can't be 7:77. Well, all different numbers just means they're not all different numbers. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, all different numbers means there's at least a repeating number. So 5:57 actually sounds really good. And 7:55 over here sounds really good. So I like both of those. This one's 7 o'clock. This one has to be in between 7 o'clock and 7:55. Which means the hour has to be 7. And the minute can't contain 1, 2, 3, or 4. So the minute would have to be somewhere between 7:05 and 7:09, or 7:50, because it couldn't be 7:51, 2, 3, or 4. So I'll leave it at 7:05 for now. There might be multiple solutions and we just have to fit all the constraints, possibly. Oh, but if I do that, any of these can't end in 0, 0. So now all the other clocks have to end in 0, 0 to fit that constraint. And so let me move all the other minutes to 0, 0. In which case, if this one comes after the 7 o'clock hour, we'll go ahead and just make it the 8 o'clock hour. So there's my 8 o'clock. This one has to end in 00 and already does. This one I have not adjusted, so it needs to be, in order to end in 00, it would have to be 6 o'clock in order to make this work. So there's 6 o'clock, which is after 5:57 and before 7 o'clock. And then this would have to be 5 o'clock and 12 o'clock, I guess. I feel like that's all that works. So let's go ahead. No, it can't be 12 o'clock. But the times go in ascending order. I'm going to leave it at 12 o'clock for now, but that's wrong. Because it can't have the digits 1, 2, 3, or 4. But this one could be 5 o'clock. If I actually get it there. Okay. And so now, none of the clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Times will go up in ascending order. So yeah, that's our problem. I feel like this has to be 5:57. This has to be 6 o'clock. This has to be 7 o'clock. This has to be... Well, I have it as 7:05, but it could be anything, could be a lot of things between 7:05 and 7:55. This one kind of has to be 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Why did I do 7? Like, this could have been 9 o'clock, and then all these things be 1 hour later, it feels like. Why did I end up with the 7? Because this had times containing 7s, right? So there's not like a button to like press when I think I'm done, right? Okay, so this one's definitely wrong. What's a time less than 5 o'clock that ends on the hour that doesn't contain any of those digits? I mean, I guess 9 o'clock could be 9 a.m. And then 5 p.m. and then 5:57 and then 6 o'clock and then 7 o'clock and then 7:05 and then 7:55 and then 8 o'clock. So that is ascending order. 7:55 is the reverse of 5:57, so that one is held. Nothing contains 1, 2, 3, or 4. Is that true? Yeah, nothing contains 1, 2, 3, or 4. This clock should not be set on the hour, so it is set on the hour. It's set to 7. Neighbors both contain 7s. That contains a 7, that contains a 7. All different numbers. There are 2 of the same number. 5 should be ending on the hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's true. And each of the clocks should be set to a different time, and they are. So the only problem is the ascending thing, this one, because I can't do a time that ends in the hour before that. So if I push this back to 6 o'clock, there's no such thing as like 6:67. So yeah, it feels like it has to be 5:57 in order for this to be on the hour containing a 7. This has to be on the hour and a time before that. And this has to be a time before 6 o'clock and contain a 7 and have repeating numbers and not have a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it feels like it has to be 5:57. This could be... And then before that is 5 o'clock, and before that would be like 4 o'clock, but we're not allowed to have 4s. So what have I done wrong in that chain of logic? Is there some other clock that could have had a beyond the hour or something? I have this set to 8 o'clock. What if I set this to 9 o'clock? That doesn't help me because this one still has to be 7:55. it can help me because it could be the reverse of another clock that said 7:58 and then be 8:57. So what if I change this to 8:57 and I change this one to 7:58? In which case, if these two are going to mirror each other... I'm not sure why I'm doing all this right now. I was trying to move the hours around or whatever, so I had time for this one to fit in. The other thing I'd have to do is, rather than have it be 7:58, could it be 8 o'clock? Or 8:57? This one has to be the opposite of another one. But yeah, this could be 8 o'clock. But then if this is 8:57, I would need something to be 7:58, or it would have to be... So if I think that's 7 o'clock and I think that's 6 o'clock, this would have to be 5:50 something. It could be 5:58 and 8:55. Let's try that. Hold the phone. No, it has to have a 7. Rats. This one has to have a 7. 5:57. It basically has to be 5:57. What if this is 5:08? I think I have it. What if this is 5:08? This one is 8:05, and then this one could be 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock, 5:08. This guy who has to be the reverse of another one is going to be 8:05 now. Okay, so 5 o'clock, 5:08. 5:57 still has to be that. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. This one now should be 8 o'clock. So move up the hour. There we go, I solved it. Got it. There's only one way to satisfy all the constraints. And my reward is a sanctum key! Hooray! The thing that I wanted. Crap. Do I have the steps to get to the sanctum? And then I might as well... I have a sleeping mask, and so if I happen to draft a bedroom here, I could get some more steps. I guess I have plenty of steps, so it's not an issue. And... none of these matter to me. I'm not going to actually enter. So... we'll do that. And then... just walk out. I think there might be a chest at the entrance hall that I haven't opened. No, that was the previous run, I guess. Did I already have... yeah, I already used the magnifying glass on this. Okay, I will meet you at the sanctum. Actually, the gymnasium has the foundation. I'm a dummy. I drafted the gymnasium. I can afford the 2 steps if it saves me a bunch of steps getting downstairs. Which it will. It'll also save me time IRL. Just by doing this. I haven't done this in a long time. And having arrived at the sanctum, it occurs to me that I don't think I have enough information to solve another thingy, but I can at least open the door permanently. And I feel like Morajai, which is white in color, is one that I have a number of good leads on. And so at some point in the future when we revisit, we'll be able to actually try to solve that bit. But yeah, in any case, that's at least another bit of permanent progress that we've got going on. And I think that's a good place to go ahead and call it a day for today. Actually, it would be better to call it a day in the break room so that I have the key card again tomorrow. So let me head there. Alright, so this is where we will call it a day. We made some permanent progress, which is good. But I'm getting to the point where I'm not sure how to make much more progress after this, which is a little bit worrisome. But that'll be a problem for future Brian to figure out. In any case, west-facing Jigsaw House. I'm going to say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. New room, clock tower, hooray! And I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.